Hey guys, this is Nikki and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm again going to talk about some Charlie creepy stories. But guys, I'm not sure if these stories are true or not. I just found it out in Google, YouTube, so I'm telling it to you, but I'm not sure if these are real or not. So don't blame me if you find out that this is not real. Okay guys, I found some really creepy stories and some things that I'm really excited to tell you. And as you remember, some time ago I talked about Charlie. I talked about some scary stories of it. I told you what Charlie was, but if you haven't watched those videos, I will tell you what Charlie is. Charlie is a kind of ghost that answers you. It's something like spirit board. You try to talk to him and he answers you, and these things happen, and maybe bad things happen. Well, the only things you need is just a paper with 2 pencils, and you have to write one yes and no on the paper, and yes. And the pencils move and show you the spirit's answer, but the only difference between spirit board and Charlie is Charlie can just tell you yes and no, but spirit board can answer you completely. And well guys, I have a really good news for you. As you remember, in some days ago I told you that I'm going to play with my spirit board, but unfortunately I found out that my dad has trashed it, so I cannot make another one because it's so hard. It was summertime, I had so many time, but now I don't have that much time, so I cannot right now. But as you know, making a board for playing with Charlie is so easy. So I thought that in 2 other videos that I'm going to make, I'm probably going to play with Charlie in front of you, and we're going to find it out if Charlie is real or not. But guys, don't play with Charlie yourself. I'm crazy, but you're not, because there are so many creepy stories that I'm going to tell you in this video, and well, they don't have a really good ending, so please guys, don't do this. And yes, one of my friends said to me that she had played Charlie with her friend, and she was so spooked, and Charlie answered them, and they never played it again. I'm not sure if she told me the truth, because I was in her home and I told her to play with Charlie, but she insisted to not to play with it. And I don't know if she made it out to not to play with it, or maybe it was just real. I hope not. Okay guys, let's get to our stories. The first story that I'm going to tell you is not a story that I can say, but it's a really short experience kinda of not myself, other people. And it's about some people that played with Charlie every night, every day. They had to talk to it or else they couldn't leave. And after some days, it was fun at first, but after some days they started to think something's wrong. For example, one of them said that when she was home alone at night, she saw a woman standing on the rooftop of their house, and that will be so scary. Ooh, the lady on the roof. A movie. Oh, I can make a Brookhaven movie with this content. Ha! Okay, well. And other people said that they could see things move, music's playing on their own, and they're so creepy. Okay, the second story that I'm going to tell you is so great. I really love it. Well guys, there was a school, and actually not there was a school. There's a boy in my story that was in school in the science class, and One of his friends said that sent him a link and said that this link can give you some really good experiences. And that boy was in his class too. And so he clicked on the link and it came scary for kids. And in that link, there were some scary, spooky games that teenagers could play and have fun. But I don't think that was fun. And he found a game that was called Pencil Game, and it was Charlie Charlie too, because you play with pencil. It can be called Pencil Game too, and he thought it can be so much fun. So in their break time, he and his friends started to play with this game, and they were so shocked when they saw Charlie Charlie answered them, and they didn't get anything serious at all. And after some time, when they were having fun with Charlie Charlie, the bell rang and they had to go to cafeteria. So they went to cafeteria, and when they came back, it was their computer class. And they had to work with their computers, and their teacher asked them to take notes. So his friend went to the note app in his computer, and when he opened it, he saw this message that said, Charlie Charlie still wants to play. And that will be so spooky because his computer had a password and no one knew about it, and his computer was in his backpack, so no one had access to it. And that would be so creepy, so no one had written that message in his note app. So after that, in their break time, again, they made a board for talking with Charlie Charlie, and they said, if you are real, show something. And then all the papers from the table fell down on the floor, but they weren't sure because they thought maybe it was wind. So they said that if you're here, shut down the computer. And the computer shut down, and they found out that they had to take it serious. He was real. They freaked out, and this is the end of our story. I don't know what happened next, but whatever happened next wasn't good. So guys, the third story that I'm going to tell you is not as scary as the second one, but it is good. It's about a man who wasn't so religious, but because the woman that he crushed on always went to church every morning, he went to see her there. And because of her, he started praying, and he started to trying to think that God is real and something like this. And well, when he came back home, he saw things, for example, lights flicker, he saw things moving, and some things that you know. And then he remembered that he didn't say goodbye to Charlie Charlie this morning that he talked with him. So the worst thing he did was he put the paper and the pencils and everything that he made the board for Charlie Charlie, he burned them all and buried them far away from his house. Then some time later, he came back home and sat on his yard and started to play with his cigarettes. And then he understood that he was sitting there for more than 1 hour, and that was so much. He didn't even notice that. He thought that he was there for about 5 minutes. And then he came back home and he tried to watch film, trying to take his mind away from Charlie Charlie and these things, but he saw that the TV said the channel is not working, and he couldn't tell this to anyone because even if he told everyone about this, no one would believe him. And this is the end of the story. Well, I told you it's not that scary, but that wasn't bad. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up and share it with your family and friends, and subscribe for more videos like this. Ring the bell so you'll be notified if I upload a video in YouTube, and I'll see you in my next videos talking with Charlie. God help. Bye.